In this video, we're going to go into more detail about ordering and receiving parts. Let's start by clicking on Order Parts, and here we can see the Order Parts form. Let's start up the top and go over some of these filters. Here we have the Show filters, and we can see that they're all color-coded. Here we have the Reorder parts in white. These are parts that will show up when your on-hand inventory gets down to a reorder point that you've set up previously. The parts for service orders highlighted in blue. These are items that are assigned to a specific service order. For instance, here we can see some for Felix Anderson. Then we have the retail sales in yellow, and then we have the order parts in red. These might just be parts that you're ordering for stock. Now we can customize this view down here by simply just deselecting the box. For example, this user may just want to see service orders. So by deselecting retail sales, and we deselect ordering parts, we can see that they're not in view anymore down here. Now they haven't been deleted, they're just not showing. And we can put them right back if we want by clicking, and we can see they're back. A user can also set up a default by going to User Options and select User Preferences Purchasing, and then Purchasing Preference. And here you can check off the ones you want to see. Next we have the free shipping status, and if we click on the drop down, this shows us the minimum dollar amount we need before we can get free shipping. We can see with Coast and NTP that we're over the minimum and will receive free shipping. But with Stag Parkway, we're under. So if possible, you may want to wait till you have something else to order from Stag to get the free shipping. Of course, if it's a part you need right away, that's not going to happen. But it's good to know. The next line we have the filter by, and here we have a number of different filters that we can use. This can be used if you want to drill down to a specific purchase order that you want to create. For example, if we just wanted to order this awning from Coast, we can click on the vendor, and then go over to the drop down. Click on Coast, and now we can see we're only viewing that item. We can go down and click on Create Purchase Order, and click OK. And you could also filter by order number, part number, delivery date, item class, or customer. Now let's take a look at defaults for purchase orders, and we can see some of the fields are already populated, like the date, prepared by, and the expected ship date. And you can see that the expected ship date is based upon part lead time default. We have it set up for 7 days, but you can set it up based on how long it takes your vendor to ship. You can fill in these other fields if you choose, the terms, FOB, payment due date, shipping method. Over here we see the location. We're at the Universal Superstore, but if you're in multi-location, you can have it default to whatever your location is. Here we have a vendor message. You can type a message to your vendor. It will show up on the purchase order. And we have a memo field, where if we type a memo here, it will be only internal. It won't show up on the purchase order. Further down, we have this View More button, and if we click on it, we actually see more information about the items themselves. There's a unit cost, average cost. We see one to order, and here we have our inventory information. And now we can click on the View Less button, and it disappears. Down here we have the Reload Form button. This is if you made a change to an order or an inventory record. This will just refresh the screen. We can add an item from a parts catalog. If you know the part number, you can type it in, or the name of it, it will come up. We can click on the catalog/inventory. And here we have a list of all our inventory items and catalog items. We can see here we have 178,590. Keep in mind, you can add as many catalogs to this as you like. You can add a new special order item, or if you have a scanner hooked up, you can simply scan the barcode or hit the drop down and choose from the list. You may find that you have an item that you don't need to order anymore because, well, the circumstances have changed. Very easy to do, just highlight the item, go down and click Remove Need to Order Part. You'll be asked if you want to confirm, and yes, we do. And now it's gone. Okay, now that we know a little more about the Order Parts screen, let's go ahead and create some purchase orders. Very simple, click on Create Purchase Orders, and click OK. Now we can click on the Preview Purchase Orders to print. And from here you can go up and double click and see the details. Now at some point you're probably going to have to edit a PO, most likely due to a change in cost of that item, and we can do that even after the PO has been created. Let's go down and click Done. And from here we can go up to the Parts tab, down to Purchasing, and over to Edit Purchase Order. Now we can find the PO different ways. We can type the number in if we know it. We can look by vendor, or we can look by prepared by. I can see the PO I want, the 001980 right here, and we click on it. And here we can see the price is $7.47. We also know the price has gone up to $7.58, so let's change it right here. Go down and click OK. We're being asked if we're sure we want to change the cost, and yes we do. Now here we're being asked if we want to change the cost in the inventory record. We know that this is a permanent change, so we're going to click yes. Now it's calculated the retail price for us. Do we want to change that? We're going to say no. Here we see the updated price, and we'll be using the calculated price of $1263.28. Click OK. Let's go back to our purchase order. And we can see the new price. Also at this point, if you found out what the shipping is going to be, you could put that in right here as well. Let's put in $35. Go down and click OK. Yes, we want to change the cost. And that's it. Very easy to edit a purchase order. Now let's go back to the home page. Now let's go to received parts to see how we can edit a PO while we're receiving it. Let's go up to PO number and select a PO. Now let's say we got a special deal on this item and the price has gone down a little bit. We can change it by making sure that it's selected, which it is. And we want to go up to edit and click on the magnifying glass. And here we can go over and change the price. Let's change it to $7.85 and click OK. Again, just like before, being asked if we want to change the cost. Yes. And also like before, we're being asked if we want to change the inventory record. This being a special price, we're going to click no. And we'll stay with the calculated price. Click OK. And now we can see the price has been changed. You could also go back if you knew what the freight was going to be and put that in here as well. OK and yes. Now let's go ahead and receive the parts. Parts received. Now we can click on the Print PO Receiving Report. And here we can see what you've received. Another option here is you can print the receiving form to another employee in the company. For example, you might want to print this to the service manager so he is aware that the parts have come in and his techs can finish their task. So we can actually print the receiving form to a designated printer. In this case, the service manager's office. Okay, let's click Done. Now the last thing we could take a look at is returning parts to a vendor. Let's click on Return Parts. Let's go up and select a vendor. NTP. Let's go down and select an item to return. Let's select this interlock ball and then select Return Item. We're going to have to select Prepared By. Let's stick with Walter. Now if we go down here, we can see we can return parts for credit, return parts for replacement, or we can print out a packing list. Let's select Return Parts for Replacement. We're being asked if all the parts have been shipped or returned to the supplier. This will help you keep track of what's in the building ready to go and what's already gone. We're going to select Yes, and we can see the parts returned. Let's go down and hit Close. Now if we want to review returned parts, we can go up and click on Parts, Return Parts, and click on Find. And let's go to Parts Returned. And here we can see the part that we just returned. And that's it. A little more in-depth look at ordering and receiving parts.